Greetings. Today I want to encourage you to start your day right. Because you see, if you start your day right, you are actually putting your best foot forward in life. Because how you start your day would mean how you spend the rest of your day. But in order for that to happen, you have to realize that you have to first go to bed in the right frame of mind. So your whole life is built upon how you go to bed and how you awake. But the Bible wants to teach you more about this secret of how your life should be shaped to be more productive. Therefore, it gives you a secret in Ephesians 4:26. And I'm going to read it for you from this Bible, which is the 66 books of magic, the Overcomer's Bible. And there's no Jesus in this Bible. Jesus has been omitted out of this Bible, and there's a blank space for you to write your name, which is I am. For I am is the name of all of humanity, and I am is the name of God. And you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. And the universal question of life will always be, who am I? And when the answer comes, it will always be, I am that I am. Which is to say, I am whatever I believe myself to be. For as a man thinketh in his heart, or his subconscious mind, so is he. So here it gives you this key in Ephesians chapter 4, okay, and verses 26. Okay, and this would be in page 388 in my Bible, okay, the 66 books of magic. He said, be angry. So it is not wrong to be angry, because actually there's no right or wrong. Only thinking make it so. You see, when you understand the law of polarity, which is actually the law of opposite, you realize that what you need in your life is balance. What you need is understanding. What you need is to apply knowledge. That's why it's important for you to get knowledge. Knowledge is power when it's been applied. Okay, and it's wisdom. So here it is teaching you about anger. It is teaching you here about feelings and emotions. It is teaching you here about the facts of life. It is not teaching you to go after one extreme. There's some people who want to be so good in this world that they end up judging everyone else except their own selves. And they believe that they are good. And they believe that it is by works. When it's by grace, okay, it's unconditional. And that is why it must be balanced, because it's unconditional. There can never be any extreme. And that is why also you need to understand about the subconscious mind and how the subconscious mind works. In other words, you need to understand more about your invisible self. Okay, because everything that's happening in the visible world is an outpicturing. Everything that's happening in the visible world is an outpicturing of what is happening in the invisible world of thoughts, okay, and feeling. So he says here, be angry and sin not. Because sin is actually ignorance. So do not do anything ignorantly. Do not do anything and not knowing that you have to pay the consequences. Okay. Do not do things and do not know that there's a price. Do not sow and do not expect to reap. Because if you sow, you definitely will have to reap. That's what it's saying here. So do not do things ignorantly. Because sin is ignorance. For there is only one fundamental sin in this world. And it is the sin of not knowing who you are. That's why everyone in this world is seeking to know who they are. And the reason for that is because we're born in a state of amnesia, which is a state of forgetfulness, and we are seeking to know our true identity. That is why they were able to trap many people in having false identity. That is why one is a Methodist, one is an Anglican, one is a Jehovah's Witness, one is a Seventh-day Adventist, one is a Rastafarian, one is, you know what I'm speaking about, okay? All about separation, okay, and false identity. Because people do not know that the fundamental sin in this world is not knowing who you are. It's ignorance, okay? So we actually born in a state of ignorance. And as we grow, we must break out of that ignorance. and come to know our true self. That's why true salvation is self-realization. Become more self-aware. Okay? He said, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. So he said, if you want to live a life that is pleasing to you, you want to live a more productive and creative life, you want to live a life that is beneficial to the rest of humanity and to yourself, that you have to be in control of your mind. You have to be in control of your thoughts and your actions. So you say, allow yourself to be angry. Allow yourself to be disappointed. Allow these things to happen in your life, but have the right understanding that you have to go to bed, putting all these things aside, forgetting about these things, and revising your day the way how you would have liked it to be just before you go to bed. So this is showing you something very powerful about when the sun goes down, okay, and when the sun sets. Now, if you look at your life carefully, you will realize as the sun rises is when humanity is rising, okay, in this conscious waking state. And when the sun is setting and it's going down, that's when humanity is getting into that drowsy, sleepy state to go into bed and to go into the subjective world. So there's a subjective world and an objective world. So here the Bible is teaching you how you have to be in control of the subjective world, and it is using the sun to show you as the sun goes down that you're going into this dimension whereby you can contact the invisible, this dimension whereby you can go into the world of possibilities and you can change things there. So he's saying that you might have a day that might not go the way you want it to go, but as you are about to go to bed and you're going into this dimension of possibilities, that you can change it. So you have the power to change your life whichever way you want it to be. So there are many preachers who use the scripture and say, do not, let the sun go down on your wrath, and they only equate it to getting angry and so on. But what about if you are broke? What about if you want to better your life? What about if you want a good family, you want a good spouse, or whatever you want in this world? It is the same key that it is giving you to use to say to you, if you are mindful of how you go to bed, before you get into that place where you go totally unconscious, to go into the unconscious world, which is the world of the subconscious, which is the subjective world, the world of spirit, the world of the invisible substance. Okay, when you go into that world, whatever you take into that world is what you would express in this objective, three-dimensional world, this world that seems to be solid, which is the world of matter. And it is only the spirit and a certain frequency in this three-dimensional world. So when you understand everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, you realize things that we think are solid, they are just on a certain vibration and a certain frequency. Okay, and it's a more slow world. This world here is more slower. That's why we think there's such a thing as time, when there is only now. But when you go into the subjective world, the invisible world, the world of thoughts, you realize you can change things just by a thought, and you can travel by the speed of thought. You can go any part of the world. Okay, you don't have to take an aeroplane to go to different parts of the world. You can just use your imagination within the subjective world. That's the world of possibilities. Okay, and the reason why that can happen is because your spirit having a human experience. So in your waking state, you're having more of this human experience, but in the sleeping state, it is where you're going back to your true essence, your true self. So why not take your desires there and manifest them in this three-dimensional world? So it's very, very important that you learn how to go to bed, so you know how to awake. So how you awake is the most important time of your life, Because remember, you can go to sleep and not awake. So once you're awake, you must be able to awake with a sense of gratitude. Okay, you must be able to awake being positive, being optimistic. You must be able to awake and looking forward to something in life, knowing that your life is productive. You see, most of us, we were programmed to wake up in the morning and the first thing on our mind is to get to work, because we've been programmed to become workers on this plantation whereby you believe that it's a dog-eat-dog world, whereby they make you believe that it's a world of competition and they trap you in the rat race. Okay, but when you realize that there's more than enough, and you realize how powerful you are and how the subconscious mind works, then you realize that you can change your life whichever way you want it to be, and you can live life on your own terms. So you will never one day allow the sun to go down on your wrath, which is basically your negative thinking, your anger, all of your frustrations, all of these things are your negative thinking. So the Bible is saying to you, never go to bed thinking negatively about yourself, about the world, or about others. In other words, it's saying to you, don't get caught up in politics, religion, the news, television, the movies, all of these things, because you can fall asleep with these things being impressed upon the subconscious mind, and then you will reap the harvest, and you never understand why these things are happening in your life, because you never understand cause and effect. You do not realize that you're the cause of everything in your life. And so many people, they live their life blaming a devil and fail to realize that the devil is the negative self, the negative self-talk, the negative thinking, because everything is mental, everything is psychological, everything was first a thought and was first an idea, everything was first imagined. That is why when you come to understand that God and the devil is not two entities outside of yourself, but is within you, and you have a choice, and you have a left brain and a right brain, and you can either vibrate on your left brain, which will keep you in limited thinking and limited beliefs, or you can vibrate in your CEO brain, which is your right brain, your genius brain, the part of you that can work miracles, the part of you will say throw the net on the other side for a great catch, and you will hit the 153 frequency. Yet religious people think it is 153 actual fishes that is in the sea, because they never understood the Bible psychologically, or metaphysically, or esoterically. In other words, they only understand the Bible on one level. But we are three-dimensional beings in terms of we are physical, we are psychological, and we are spiritual. You are a triune being. So how could you be a triune being and you only understand the Bible on one level? It's a total contradiction towards life itself, and much people do not think that far. That is why they trap believing that the Bible is literal and believe that it is secular history. And common sense will teach you that no preacher has ever taken literal water and turned it into wine. And so those of the religious mind will say, well, some of them, they are figurative, but not all. The entire Bible is metaphysical. It's all about the mind. It's all a great psychological drama. The Garden of Eden is your mind. From the moment it says, in the beginning God, it is saying to you everything starts from the invisible and being expressed in the visible. So my brother, my sister, when you know all of these things and you have this kind of information, it takes the application. And information is being transmitted through the brain. But when it comes to transformation, it has to do with the heart. Okay, and that's the first sign of life. It's a vibration. And everything is built on energy, vibration, and frequency. And that vibration comes from the energy, from the energetic field. We all are thought evolved beings. That is why we have to get into the thought world to build the outer physical objective world. Whatever we desire in this world, we can be. And the Bible gives you the key over and over and over again. But very few people understand that the Bible is a book of psychology. is spiritual science, hidden from the wise and prudent and revealed to babes like me, who only know these things based on experience. That is why when you understand St. John chapter 3, he says that we speak of that which we know. We are witnesses. Those who have been born again have had the birth from the skull. That's why I know that the real virgin birth is the secret of a man giving birth. And for those of you who have been listening to me, the book is coming very soon. In this month, I'll have it ready for you. The secret vagina, the secret portal, the mystery of the virgin birth. So my brothers and my sisters, get ready to get that book and to share it with your friends, relatives, and whoever you feel led to share that book with. It will definitely change your life for good. And you will realize that the virgin birth have nothing to do with down here. It's more up here. The place of Golgotha, the place of the skull. And I can go on and on and on. But my brothers and my sisters, let me just end here by saying there's nothing new under the sun. And the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And common sense will teach you that the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity. For the Son will pause all of humanity and give all of humanity its energy. And that scripture is in Psalms 84:11. And then in Malachi 4:2, it tells you that the Son, the S-U-N, okay, not a S-O-N. No S-O-N could exist unless there first be the S-U-N. That's basic common sense. He said, the Son of righteousness. Oh, so the righteousness comes from the Son. It comes from the light that is within you. Okay. He says, the Son of righteousness shall arise with you with what? Healing in his wings. Oh, so true healing comes from where? Within. Every form of healing comes from within. Whether it is psychological, whether it is physical, whether it is social, it all comes from within. If you get a cut on your hand, it's gonna heal itself naturally, not the medicine from the doctor. Okay. So, my brothers, my sisters, that is why I give you a course called The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And it's on my Patreon for people donating $20 or more. And along with that course is a bonus course on self-concept. The most important course you will ever participate in is knowing more about yourself, having the right concept of yourself, having the importance of being more self-aware. Is very, very important. Self-knowledge is the most powerful knowledge when it's been applied. So, if you haven't gotten that course, it's on my Patreon. Check it out and become a patron. Okay, you're most welcome. There's a lot more information that is there available for you to grow and to expand and to live your best version of your life here on this planet. Also, I want to say to you as I come to a close here, that if you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video as long as this message has been resonating with you deeply. Also, if you like to have one-on-one with me, you can reach out to me by way of email, and if the terms and conditions fit you and you're willing to invest in yourself, we can definitely have a great time together, go deeper down the rabbit hole and expound more powerfully on these things. But before I leave you, I just want to remind you that if you feel strongly led to support this work, that we have a PayPal, and the link is always down below. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I just want to thank you very much. I want to say peace, love you all, out.